This is Robert Marglacci of the Mindshare Learning Report, and welcome to this week in Canadian EdTech, very special edition of Mindshare TV. Today's hosting Clive-Anthony Stanberry, who is a data quality engineer at the National Football League. He's here temporarily in town from New York to spend some time with his family and a drop-in member of our Mindshare workspace. He's highly motivated with hands-on experience in applying machine learning and deep learning models to inform customer behavior, sales predictions, and marketing trends. He is a graduate of Gonzaga at the Dufferin Peel District School Board. He did an undergrad at the London School of Economics and Political Science, and also has a master's degree in data science and artificial intelligence at the University of London. Thank you for joining me, Clive-Anthony. How fortuitous is this to have you on our podcast? I couldn't resist the opportunity. Really, it's about sharing your journey and inspiring some of our youth and leaders of tomorrow that happen to be in our catchment area in Erin Mills in the great city of Mississauga.
Yeah, well, thank you, Robert, for having me. A flattering introduction. Happy to be here and maybe talk a little bit about my experience.
Yeah, and so in our warm-up chat, I was just fascinated about your journey, and it's not always a direct path. Most kids would look at you thinking, as a former sport information director, I loved my job for many years at York University, and it was something that I stumbled onto, and how cool is it to be, with the NFL? Talk to us about what the day in the life looks like as a data engineer.
Oh, yeah. So it's very cool, to be around, this league, and they have a lot of great talent there, from the league side, working in data analytics, and then also to be a part of the sport, that you might catch on Sunday. So day to day, in my role, I'm mostly looking at the data quality between uh, player health and safety data from different teams and the league office. So my team's mostly involved in building pipelines that ensure that we're transferring the data smoothly with high quality, and then identifying any improvements we can make to the quality of our reporting on the league side or with teams.
Fascinating. And it's really about related to player safety. So there are sensors in the helmets. Is that what they have in helmets today?
Some helmets do, yes, yeah.
That's fascinating. I know in hockey's my sport. I'll be playing at lunchtime in Streetsville, but the concussion protocols are stronger. But I feel like they can do something better with the helmets and make them softer shell on the outside and inside with the hard shell inside, just to absorb impact. But that's something I might do as a product innovation because I'm never busy enough doing other things. But this NFL opportunity came about through some research you did. And talk to me about your journey in school. What did you study? Because kids are going to be interested to learn about your career pathway. And, Air Mills Connects, we wrote a document about helping kids pursue their passion beyond high school. And what did that look like for you? In grade 10 or 11, did you know what you wanted to do, or how did this all begin?
Yeah. So I'd say in high school, I was torn, between many different options, as I'm sure a lot of high school students are. I was interested in mathematics. I was mostly interested in biotechnology, actually. Um, but eventually, as grade 12 approached, I chose to study mathematics and economics. Um, while in the mathematics program, I became very interested in programming and data science and statistics, and that led me to do a master's degree in data science and artificial intelligence. From there, I worked in different roles as a data scientist, data analyst, and then now in this role as a data quality engineer, I feel like I've really been able to apply some of the things I learned in my school programs. Um, and then it's also great to be able to work for, it's a great organization, a great league, a fun sport, really.
And inspiring at that, I spent 8 years managing some 45 teams back in the day, and hockey was my sport. So being around sport was really cool, but intense. It's not, for longevity when it comes to being involved in sport management and team travel and sport information, but it was a great stepping stone in honing your skills. So talk to me about what you pursued after high school. What did the post secondary look like? And it's something that is quite unique that I discovered in our warm up chat, and something that kids and school counselors need to be aware of and share with students, because you really
Oh,
don't know what you
yeah,
don't know.
that's true. Yeah, I wish, I had known, or more people had known at the time. But what I ended up doing was I studied at the University of London. Um, it's London School of Economics remotely. So they had a program that allowed me to get all my books, reading materials from the University of London, and then I'd write my exams in person at the University of Toronto. And that was extremely convenient for me to be able to get that degree and that quality of degree, worldwide recognized from the University of London, but able to stay home here with my family, save a lot of money, especially, with the graduate tuition fees that we have.
Right. So very cost effective,
Yeah, extremely.
more in line with what Canadian universities or less you'd pay. So that's a brilliant opportunity that you uncovered, and to do both your undergrad and graduate degrees.
Yes, yeah, do them both that way. Extremely, extremely helpful and cost effective.
I always said to my kids, although they were talented hockey players, do well in school because it gives you options. How important is that?
Yeah, I think that's really very true, and I know that more now with some exposure uh, to life after high school, I guess, than I did as a high school kid because I was very much interested in sports as well. Um, but
How important did sports play a role in keeping a balance, and what do you advise students in that regard
oh yeah, I
for
think
well-being?
for your well being, it's very important. Staying physically active, playing a sport, getting that sense of community, and then also cognitively, just keeping your mind sharp. You know, being physical is extremely helpful, um, especially after high school. And I'd even say if you do pursue a university program like I did, where you're doing it remotely, you may not necessarily be able to join a sports team at the school or a club at the school if you're doing it remotely. So really important to prioritize, your mental well-being by playing sports or staying physically active somehow.
And from a volunteerism perspective, you were engaged that way in high school as well.
Yes, 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 I was. So volunteering, uh, I saw the biggest advantage of volunteering helping my communication skills because, and I think we mentioned earlier, like while you're in high school, you're sort of in a bubble between, people that are your age, your peers, and your teachers. But when you volunteer, you have an opportunity to speak and communicate with people outside of your circle. It helps you develop that skill of empathizing with other people to be able to communicate um, with others after high school, in whichever field you're interested in or career you're pursuing. The communication is extremely helpful. I think volunteering helps with that a lot.
Absolutely. That a little trivia. That's how I got my first sport information director role, as I was the assistant in that capacity, and I knew the job, and that led me to get the job in the end because I had the most experience. So, speaking of which, this wasn't your first gig. It wasn't a direct path to the NFL. You had a number of previous roles, but you were strategic in the way you went about getting future roles. Talk to me a little bit about how important LinkedIn was and strategies that students and other graduates could leverage to continue to uh, personally grow their network.
Yes, I'm a big believer in using LinkedIn to make connections and to learn more about roles that are out there. So in some previous roles, I've been reached out to by different recruiters at different companies or different agencies. And what a recruiter will do, for those of you who don't know, the recruiter will help you land a position that may not necessarily be posted publicly. So, for example, if you're able to reach out to a recruiter that might work for an agency and ask them what connections they have, what different roles they might have access to, and to learn more about their network, then when the opportunity comes, where if you're looking for a job, you're able to then reach out to them and ask them for different roles they may have available. And if you can make connections with many different recruiters, the job searching process becomes a lot easier. As now at this point, you're simply receiving different job descriptions or interview opportunities instead of having to just simply apply to many different roles or companies, and then you may or may not hear a response. But with the recruiter, you have an opportunity to work with a real person, interact with them, um, to help you get the position you're looking for.
What a brilliant strategy. Clive-Anthony, I'm going to wish a book upon you because you're an impressive young man. You've done your homework. You've landed a dream job at this juncture in your career. And I think the sky's the limit for you. We're so thrilled to connect with you here and share a little bit about your journey and advice for some of our future leaders in the Air Mills region and beyond. So, with that, I'm going to let you get back to your very busy job with the NFL. Keep
Well,
players safe.
thank you very much, Robert. Thank you.
That was Clive-Anthony Stanberry, Daily Quality Engineer with the NFL. My name is Robert Mardlanchi, the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.mindshare Learning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.